Merry meet, it is Nina. You're watching Fairy Chamber channel, continuing a series on Baltic mythology, and today's goddess is very interesting. Her name is Austeja, and she is a Baltic goddess of the bees, protector goddess of the bees. And if you're familiar with Finno-Ugrian mythology and Sami mythology, bees are quite important characters in Nordic countries. There's lots of mythology related to them, so I was quite interested when I started to do my research on Austeja, what all she covers. And Austeja, she's very heavily connected to the goddess Semina, who is the Baltic goddess of the earth, or also referred as the Mother Earth. And Austeja, she promotes growth, plentifulness and reproductions, very much like bees themselves. They are symbols of fertility, as you can probably imagine. And Austeja, when it comes to her looks, she can be a woman and she can be a bee, almost a fairy. I would see her as a fairy-like creature. And some sources link her name to Lithuanian verb austi, which means to weave, and austiti, which means to fly swiftly here and there, like bumblebees, and to shut and open doors repeatedly. It's very interesting. And this is a metaphor linked to gathering honey and building honeycombs and going from flower to flower. It's not the only bee goddess in the world. In Greek mythology there was the goddess Artemid, who was also connected to the bees. And Artemid, not Artemis but Artemid, she was a goddess, protector goddess of motherhood and large families, especially mothers who had really many kids. And she was also called a bee, which in Greece is Melissa. And then in Finnish mythology, Päivätär, who is the sun goddess, she is often connected to the bees. Very interesting. And also in Finnish mythology, bees especially, and butterflies and birds, they're also connected to souls and souls reincarnating. It's very interesting. And also Navechan in Sami mythology, she's also connected to bees. So definitely in the more north you go, if there is a goddess that is related to the sun and the summer, they are very often connected to bees as well, because they are seen as the goddesses of fertility. And when people did sacrifices to Austeja, drinks were thrown into the air up towards the ceiling. It's very interesting. And meat must be offered before the wedding dance. During christening parties, meat is also poured, and matchmakers offer toast so that the bees would better gather honey plentifully. Interesting metaphors. Austeja, she's also seen as very much an authority goddess, because the symbolism of the queen bee. I think this idea of the bee goddess, it might actually link way back into totemic era and to the first humans, and especially because we are talking about a goddess who is half human, half animal. And the thing is, at least in Finnish paganism and in Latvian paganism, we all have emus, and emu is the first parent of the species, the first creature of the species, particular species. And emu, it can be either man or woman, or it can be any gender. So I think you could say that Austeja could be, in Lithuanian context, the emu of the bees. I don't know. That's just something that came to my mind. And when people did offerings for Austeja, they had, for example, meat, and they threw it to the skies, in which case they would believe that it would go to the goddess, or if they were inside, it was thrown to the ceiling, so it would go to the goddess. It's very interesting. And if there was, for example, wedding ceremonies, the speech keepers, they would often pray Austeja to give lots of like good luck for the married couple, and they were saying that bees would better gather honey plentifully in your marriage. And the celebration to honor Austeja was called Soline, and this took place in August. It's the time when the bees were the most busiest, and people would wake up really early in the morning, and then they would go to gather the honey from the beehives before the bees were all awake, because otherwise they would get all stanked. And then they would leave offerings of honey for Austeja, naturally. And a very interesting thing is that in Baltic folklore and pagan beliefs, bees were seen very much like humans. They were seen very hard-working animals. They were seen very sacred in that sense and being very close to humans because they had good work morality. And they were same plain as men. And they are sacred goddess-like workers. They are here to help us. So if a Baltic person found a dead bee, it was people had to bury it properly to the ground. And trees which bees built their hives were regarded as sacred trees, and it was not allowed to quarrel, curse or abuse one another or behave disgraceful in the presence of the bee, because bees were sacred animals. And it was believed that bees could talk and they could sing. They were very much connected to the sun, and it was believed also that bees could understand the human language, and they might also even tell prophets from the future. And really people believed that if they would quarrel or behave badly in the presence of the bees might prevent them or use the information against them. So people had to be very respectful around bees. It's very interesting. Okay, this was the story of the bees. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more. Okay, thank you for watching. I will see you on my next video. Bye.